Hi, everyone. We have been discussing the lymph system and its connection to systemic inflammation in the body. We're discussing this in the Hunger, Hope, and Healing online group support program. If you're interested in that program, please check out the URL that's here, or you can check the link in the description below this video. So I wanted to create a short practice for you to effectively and efficiently move your lymph system because it's going to be supportive of your hormones and your endocrine system, your digestion, and the overall process your body goes through for elimination. It is a remarkable system. The lymph system is taking care of things unique to the lymph system, and we don't want to forget about it or diminish its effectiveness. Things that cause your lymph system to feel diminished or backed up or sluggish can include such as a sedentary lifestyle or eating foods that are processed that our body can't process that well. The kinds of lotions or products that you put on your skin or on your face or in your body that have hormone mimickers, that's also going to disrupt your lymph system. As well, when we're having an experience of, let's say, binge eating or compulsive eating or even yo-yo dieting and those kinds of experiences, we are dysregulating our system overall, and our lymph system is also going to be one of the things that's suffering. We may not realize this because we might be thinking more about blood sugar and digestion and are we having healthy bowel movements and what is happening with our body weight, but lymph is a key factor in whether or not you're going to successfully come back to your metabolic baseline for your body composition. We just can't overlook it. Essentially, it's really integral to everything that your health is about. So this short practice should be done in the morning upon awakening to be the most effective, but you can also do it intermittently through the day if you want to be able to give yourself a little boost if you've had a sedentary period of time, like sitting for excessive times and you want to get up and move, but you want to have a quick way to do that so that you can feel like you're refreshed and able to do the next thing that's on your schedule. As we go into the practice, let's also know that this is really essential any time of year, but becomes even more essential when you're in a seasonal transition for the doshas. So between Vata dosha and Kapha dosha, we're in that transition right now here in the Pacific Northwest. Seasonal transitions are times when our bodies are more susceptible. If our doshas are out of balance, the body's going to be more susceptible to getting ill or to feeling run down. And as we go from Vata to Kapha season, that is the cold, windy, dry, brittle Vata season, into the Kapha season, cold, muddy, unctuous, right? We're going to start feeling possibly lethargic or like we're getting stuck in the mud. We see spring coming. We want to be there to meet spring. We want to go out for a hike or go for a walk or get our health back. Often people want to start another diet if the New Year's resolution diet failed. And yet as we go there, if your transition from Vata to Kapha is rocky because you haven't been tending to your Vata dosha that well, and therefore you aren't able to kind of tend to the Kapha dosha emerging very well, this practice can be helpful for that too. So think of it as an all-around tonic for your lymph system and also to use in seasonal transitions, especially in the Kapha season as it's coming on. There are other things you can do to support your lymph system in terms of your diet and your lifestyle. We'll talk about that in a different video. So let's get into this practice now. And I hope you enjoy it. Of course, if you have questions or comments, leave those down below the video. I would be glad to hear from you. All right, see you in the practice. So in this short practice, we're going to be addressing the lymph system. And we'll go through the 6 points recommended to contact in the lymph system to get things moving. We do recommend this practice in the morning because you've been sedentary at night and sleeping and your body's been doing some housekeeping chores. We're going to help it to move that debris out for the experience of cleansing in the morning. But you can also do this practice if you've been sitting, if you've been sedentary, if you were on an airplane, if you were at your desk, if you had to be in a long car ride, and you're getting out of those seated experiences and then back into some lymph movement. It can also act as a brain refresher if you need to do that during the day at any point. Okay, so first place is inside the collarbone, so just above the collarbone in this little dip right here. Let's make some circles. No particular scientific method to the circles, just inviting this area of the lymph to know that you're here, and then tap. And then the other side, so circles. Okay, and then tapping. Okay, behind the ears, up high on the sides of the neck, under the ears and behind. So make circles. We go in order because you have to clear this gateway before clearing the one above. A little bit like moving water through a canal when you're moving the locks and channels. Okay, got it. So now we'll go to the armpit. Let's take a cupped hand like this. Other side. So these are the 6 main points that we're going to be doing, and then I'll show you a practice that you can go through to even enhance further. We're just clearing up. It's like clearing up rush hour traffic, or these places where the intersections are very strong, and you want to clear those so traffic flows more easily again. Now the abdomen, so I'm making 2 fists. And go down. So we go from the top of the abdomen and then down. And you do want to focus here in the stomach and organ region because that's an important place to get some energy moving for the lymph, but also for these organs. And then down towards the groin. Okay, so the 5th place is here at the groin. I bent my knees a little bit because it's easier to feel like right there is where you're doing the tapotment. You can also use the fingers in the groin. And then we're going to go to the back of the calves. It's behind the knees. So up high on the back of the calves, behind the knees, you can make circles. And then you can use tapotment. You can make little pounding actions. Okay, come up to standing. So that is just turning on those 6 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, now let's take it as a practice where we're going to move more of the pathways of lymph in your body. You'll see this as we go through it. So starting now with the head, we have not just the one by the collarbone and under the ears, we also have the hinge of the jaw. So let's do this. Take the edge of your thumb right here in this little pad called the thenar eminence and go to the collarbone again. We're tapping there 10 times, other side. Now tapping behind the ears. Now go to the hinge of the jaw, circle, circle, circle. Make the lips loose, loose, loose. Okay, so circling there. And then come to the place where the nose meets the cheekbones. And again, small circles, circle, 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 circle. Might be tender, you can apply a little pressure there. Now where the eyes meet the bridge of the nose, up high here. So make your thumbs little circles. And now follow this pattern here. So we brush from the sternum towards the armpit, across the collarbone, from behind the ear, under the jaw, across the lower jaw, bridge of the nose over the cheeks to the ear and down, bridge of the nose, cheek, ear, down. So you're getting like the lower hemisphere of your face, including your jaw. And then from the center of the forehead to the temple and down. Notice how one side of your face feels relative to the other. That should inspire you. So second side. So brushing from the sternum out towards the armpit. Okay, collarbone, side of the neck, This is so helpful and healthy for you that you don't want to forego it. A little bit how people feel like they can regularly under the chin, regularly brush their teeth. You know, it's a daily practice. This is also a daily practice. Perhaps you do the full practice in the morning and then you'll do the tapping practice and the bouncing practice I'm going to show you. Maybe you'll do that during the day as a little reset for your body and your mind. So now we're getting the face and down, and then forehead, temple, and down. Forehead, temple, neck, collarbone, armpit, like that. Okay, take your left hand. Start from the periphery. Back of the arm. You can get the armpit too, really important. Now take your right arm out to the side. If you're fortunate, I've got a place in my kitchen where I put my hand up on the cabinet. And I do this practice when the tea is boiling. So you can do it that way using a wall spot. Okay, other side. So you're doing it from the wrist back up to the shoulder. So it is from the periphery towards the core, or from the distal to the proximal, if you want to say it that way. Back of the arm. With the armpit. Stretch the arm out. If you've got a place to put your hand up, you could even choose a little corner like this. Okay, so that's the upper body. Notice how that feels now. Things are moving. Come with your two fists. So we're expanding on what I showed you before, because that was just the short version of the practice. Now let's take this to the sides. We're going from the upper to the lower, so floating ribs down towards the hips, and then you go from the outer hips towards the groin. Let's take the fists on the lower back. Okay, and now on the thighs. So up towards the groin or up towards the hips. And then let's go to the lower legs. Outer shins, the back of the calves, inner ankles and inner calves. And then using your hands, you can slide up. And from the outer hips in towards the groin, sides of the waist towards the groin. Okay, notice how you're feeling. Now, I'd be remiss to leave out this next thing because it's also pretty simple to do. So lift your heels and you can bounce. Remember when trampolines were recommended for women's health? It's really for everyone's health, not just for breast health. The recommendation was because of the lymph system. So your calves have to move the lymph from the lower legs all the way up. It has the biggest distance to travel. So bouncing on the calves here is energizing that lowest pump in the system. And it has to be strong because most of the time our bodies are upright. You can let the arms also dangle, of course. Okay, and let's put the heels lightly down and bounce with the knees. And then start to include the arms. So we're gonna now swing. Okay, Okay, we're going to finish with what's called the breath of joy. So what you're going to do is make the legs stable, and now we're going to go inhale, 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 exhale like that. So follow me here. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Last one. 1. Inhale, come up. You're reaching for the kind of day you want to have. Exhale, float the arms out to the side, and there you go. Thank you. Thanks again for trying that on. I hope you found that to be helpful. And don't forget that, raising the arms up at the end of the practice is like, what kind of day do you want to have? And how can you support yourself to have that kind of day? You are worthy of that kind of support. You're worth making the effort for. I believe in you. Thanks for being here.